The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Insider, coming at you live from the Armed Radio Global Network out of Boston, Massachusetts. We want to welcome everybody to the show. My name is Glenn Spillman. To my left is Shawn Allen.
What's up, everybody?
And we have got a great show today. We got some really good topics that I think people are going to be interested in. And like I've always said to our fans, that if you give me a subject that you would like me to talk about, I will talk about it. If you give me questions to talk about it, obviously I'm going to talk about it. So we're going to be talking a little bit of NFL. NCAA, got a couple things in there, slightly bit of MLB, but we got a good chunk. We're going to be talking about Conor McGregor. Gentleman said, guys, who should I go with, Chiefs -3 or Raiders? Well, I'll tell you what, if you go against the Raiders, you're freaking high, because I wouldn't take the Chiefs -3, I could tell you that right now. I want to let everybody know how they could follow us. Every Wednesday night and every Friday night, you could catch us on the Armed Radio Global, and you could watch us. If you want to watch us visually, you can go to our Facebook page, Sports Insider Online, and Shawn will tell you how you can download the TuneIn app.
Download the TuneIn app and type in Armed Radio Global and connect it to your car, listen to it how you see fit, and you can check us out from anywhere.
Exactly. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's Sports Insider Online, and also we are on Twitter and all that other social media. So let's dive right into it. We will answer. We've got Periscope up, and we love you guys, man, because you guys
very interactive.
You guys are very interactive.
Come on, live.me over here. And
yeah,
Facebook, let's get it on.
So. All right, and I just want to say hello to everyone in Boston that is listening. We are completely on the other side of the country in California, but hello, Boston. I'm sure you guys are excited because when we get to the MLB section, you guys have acquired some really good people as far as the pitching staff goes, and I think you guys are going to be tightened up, with some really good stuff going on. So, let's just dive right into this, shall we? We've got Rodney Ingerson. Now, this show, in the MMA action, I've got Rodney Ingerson's shirt on. He's the gentleman that owns the sign, the company behind my head with blackout fight gear. And we're going to try and get Conor McGregor to wear some of your stuff, brother. Rodney asks, Raiders blow out the Chiefs. Oh, I didn't see the out part. I just thought you said the Raiders blow Chiefs. I was like, whoa! Wow, you're kind of diving into that a little bit. But one of the things, as I like to say all the time, I went to the University of Oklahoma. And one of my boys, Adrian Peterson, earlier in the year, hurt his meniscus. He tore his freaking meniscus. Now, as I explained earlier when he tore it, now, the best way I could describe it is you have your bones that connect with the knee. You've got your upper leg and your lower leg, the best way I could describe it. Then in between that, you have two little round discs, and they're called meniscus. And if you think of, if you like to work on cars or anything like that, think of a washer, a little rubber washer. And that's what a meniscus looks like, except it's white. And it kind of cushions the knee. Now, he tore that, and it is a tear that, depending on whether it's a first, second, or third degree, could depend on, whether or not when he's coming back. Well, Adrian Peterson has said he will only return to the Minnesota Vikings active roster playing if they are still in the playoff hunt. Now, first off, I don't agree with that. I've seen many injuries. After I played sports, I went, my degree was in health and sports
science. So you're saying he's returning now? He's ready to return?
No, that's not what he's saying. I used to be a medical trainer for sports teams, and I've seen a lot of injuries, and I know the rehab time, and I know Adrian Peterson has been known to heal quickly. But to answer Shawn's question, yes. That's one of the things he's saying, if his team. Now, Adrian Peterson was the 2015 rushing leader, and so he had surgery September 22nd. Now, anytime you have surgery, now granted, it's an invasive process. There is some cutting, there is some, repairing and whatnot. So you have to take that gradually.
But he's not even 3 months in.
Exactly.
Come on, that's. If he was to rip that or blow that out again, it's over.
Well,
I think it would be a longer recovery process.
Well, here's my thing. Now I know as a sports person, and when you're off the field and you're not playing and you're injured, you are itching to get back into the game. When you're watching from the sidelines or from a press bar or wherever you're watching it from, and you are itching, basically, is the best way I could do it. Ashley, 1993, and I'm going to answer these questions as we go along. So if I break thought, people are asking me questions for people who are watching us live. She asked me how many tattoos I have. Well, Ashley, as you can see, I'm kind of sleeved on here. It's over 30, I could tell you that right now. I got my legs tattooed and everything like that.
Someone's asked over here, may I add your Snapchat?
Yes, you can. As soon as we get it, yes, you can. So,
do we have it? So
he's itching to get back in the game. I don't know if he's being coerced or some of his buddies or Sam, because they both owe you guys. The Vikings have lost 6 out of the past 7 games. Now, they started out strong. They started out 5-0. Starting out 5-0, you think you're the shite. You think that, oh my God, we are. And I'm sure all the Vikings fans were chanting, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. And then it happened.
They sank like a rock.
Then it happened. As Shawn mentioned, they sank.
Green Bay and them at the same time started sinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now, if you remember that scene in the Titanic where Leonardo DiCaprio was holding on to the wood slat that his girlfriend was on, and they're doing their whole little bull crap that they were doing. So he let go of her hand, and he started sinking. Slowly, he started going down, down. He just disappeared. That's what happened to the Vikings. They kind of slowly got out of the picture.
They're climbing, and they got to the apex, and they just...
So I'm going to ask for all the people that are watching, and you could comment, and I'm going to ask you, Shawn, and I'll ask gentlemen in the gallery over here. Anybody could answer this. Do you think that Adrian Peterson should come back? If the Vikings are making a run for the playoffs, do you think Adrian Peterson should come back and play? Yes or no, and why?
I don't think he should, just because it hasn't been enough time for him to rehab it, and the possibility of getting injured is high. But you think about this, I mean, he hurt himself and was out, after like the second week? Week 2 did he go down?
Yeah,
they won 3 more games, and they were 5-1. There were 3 more games throughout the next 4 games. Now they've lost also without him, but I think that they can win again without him right now. And he probably is thinking, I want to be a part of this because he's been with the team for so long. I want to be a part of this. It wasn't his fault. He got injured. It had just happened. Things like that just happened.
Right.
So he's figuring that he And by playoffs, it'll be the end of the month. It'll be the end of the month.
Right.
So it'll be now over 3 months, going 3.5 months.
Right.
He'll have about another 3 weeks, 4 weeks to rehab, and he's saying he can be ready. I mean, I'm not saying it can happen because I've seen Navarro Bowman's injury they had.
All right.
They didn't think he could come back when he did.
Right.
But was he the same the first 3 months when he came back? No.
It's not going to happen.
Because he came back at the end of the season, and he wasn't the same. He didn't really come on until this year.
Right.
Like, really balls to the wall before he
Right. Well, for those of you just joining us now, and especially on all of our video people that are watching, we are coming at you from the Armed Radio Global, and I want to welcome Steve Martinez and Mike Collins to the show. When I made that statement, when I thought he said blow the Chiefs, Rodney said that's the other side of the bay. So,
about that comment, though,
what?
This is definitely going to be a different Raider-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
You know, not talking too much about that right now, but I'm saying it's not going to be the same one that happened in week 4 or whatever it was.
Right. Well, at the bottom of the hour, when we go on commercial in Boston, while they're on commercial, we are going to be introducing a special guest. Breaking Green is in the house, and we are going to show you some really cool medicine that he brought. So anyway, I don't think you should come back, and I'll tell you why. I know a lot of these guys, and I know their mentality. I know they think they're Superman, and his nicknames all day. But you gotta be freaking smart, because I'm gonna tell you something. When I hurt my ankle in hockey, and I first came back, when I went to cut to the left, or if I went to do a hard cut anywhere, I'm thinking, and I overcompensated. And it really messed with me mentally. But with Adrian Peterson, he's a running back. He's going to do cuts every single time he touches the ball. He's going to do hard cuts. And I'm telling you this, and I'm not saying that people are out to try and hurt him, but they are out to injure him, to take him out of the game, to take the Vikings out of the playoffs. And,
people can say that they don't target and they don't try to. That's bullcrap.
Bullcrap. They don't.
No. I'm saying no. People will say.
Okay.
Everyone will say no. That we would never do that. That is not becoming of the conduct of a football player. But bullcrap. As we saw that whole scandal with what was that? Was that Greg Roman? Not Greg Roman. That was the other guy down in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was extreme. But
the bounty
they were doing that was bounty, but that was extreme. But that can show you what it can lead to if you've got one guy or a couple guys. Yeah, we're going to take him out, or we're going to just make sure he doesn't play the whole game.
Well, I'll tell you what. We in Oklahoma City, we won the Oklahoma City Blazers won the Levens Cup in the mid '90s, and it's been a while now. So we were in the locker room. And in both locker, it doesn't matter what freaking locker room. We're in the locker room. There's a big whiteboard like you see in school, and they got names of the people that are injured. Then they have what happened to them, what the injury was, and then they will say when the injury happened, what they've been doing for rehab, and how far along they are. Then the coach says, "I want you to take him out." I am not saying hurt him. I'm saying take him out. There are guys on the hockey rink, and anyone that knows hockey will know they're called headhunters. That's exactly what they freaking do. They're headhunters. And I'm telling you this right now. It happened then, it's happening now, and if Adrian Peterson comes back, it's going to freaking happen to him. I'm telling you that's what's going to happen.
Think about this. Teams like Minnesota has to play teams like Green Bay. Green Bay's trying to fight for the playoffs. You got Detroit, who's trying to fight. I don't know if Detroit has a shot at this point, but they're all trying to fight.
Yeah.
And if you're 3-8 or you're 4-7, you're not going to make it. You're going to try to slow somebody else, and you don't want to let them go. So, but like for Green Bay and Minnesota, when they play, if Adrian was to play,
right. Well,
they're going to do what they do.
I think too. So I'm just going to say this: no, he should not come back.
No,
at all. One man does not make a team. Yes, he's a good player. Priscilla Kumar, welcome to the show. Yes, he is a good player, but he should not come back.
Coming back is not going to change sluggish offense that's been there. It can help it. It can give it a soft shot of adrenaline, but it is not going to fix the passing game.
All right, let's just say for the sake of argument, let's just pull out our freaking computers, and Priscilla is a writer, and let's just write a little script here, and let's do the Hollywood freaking ending. Let's say that Adrian Peterson comes back when the Vikings are on the precipice of the playoffs, and he comes back and he gets battered back and forth, and boom, bam, voila, the Vikings make it through the playoffs. And then they keep going, and they keep going. And all of a sudden,
NFC title game playing Dallas.
All of a sudden, slam, Adrian Peterson gets hit. Not only did he tear a meniscus again, welcome to the show over here, but he tears an ACL or an MCL or a collateral ligament, something like that. And then he's out, and then he doesn't play in the Super Bowl, and then they lose the Super Bowl. So what does that
or
get
let's
them?
Say they take him out of the game, and because they built the whole offense around him towards in the playoffs, they kind of shifted the offense towards him. He gets knocked out in the playoffs, so don't you think a team is not going to try to take somebody out in the playoffs because they have a chance to got a shot to the Super Bowl? And if they bench Adrian Peterson, guess what? They have a greater shot.
Yeah. So, do you think that the Vikings are that desperate that they're going to go to Adrian Peterson and said, "Hey, brother"?
I don't think they should be that desperate because they have other pieces. They have other things going on.
We got people asking us what are our predictions on the Chiefs and Raiders. We will get to that here in a moment.
It's not like
as soon as we're done with Adrian Peterson.
It's not like 3 years ago when they had no real receivers. They didn't have.
They had to rely on him.
Yeah, they had to rely on him and just put it on his back. And without him, they had nothing. Well, now they've got the other part. And McKinnon's doing good. Asiata's doing good. You know, they're managing it.
And when I hear that name, I think of Asiago cheese.
Yes, exactly what I think every time.
Every time. So, all right, we've got a lot of people asking us about the Raiders, Chiefs. And you guys are bombarding me, so I'm going to get to the Raiders and Chiefs right now. All right, so we've got Raider fans in the house. I'm a Raider fan. Shawn, he's a little retarded because he's a Raider fan and a 49er fan. And I told him one time, I've got gloves hanging above my head on set. We just had someone from the gallery saying that's like being a blood in a crypt. So all right,
this high, bro.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Priscilla is a Raider fan. Jason in the gallery is a Raider fan, and I'm going to tell you what, folks. I'll tell you, the Chiefs are coming, and they're going to come with everything that they have. And Rodney Ingerson earlier predicted 36-17 Raiders.
Their offense in Kansas City has not looked. It's not the same offense that played the Raiders earlier this season. Their defense has kept them in games, kind of like Houston. Houston, they have moments of greatness, but I just don't think if the Raiders jump out on them, they can jump out on them. That's going to be good for the Raiders. The Raiders just have to weather the third quarter. Because the third quarter has been their lazy
Achilles heel.
They go to the pool and they sip on island drinks. And then they come back in the fourth quarter and win.
Well, here's my prediction. And when you go to any game, you can go to any pub, and you can go anywhere here in Northern California. I'm going to say Kansas City. I know Raiders will. So that's what this cat said on Periscope. I didn't say that.
He said KC's going to surprise him.
So here's what you hear when someone like I walked in and I got my jersey on, and you hear people say, Raiders! And, of course, you got Chris Berman going, the Raiders. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a Raider fan. I'm saying this because I believe it. Okay, we got a cat that believes that the Chiefs are going to surprise him. All right, I will give you the surprise. But then the Raiders are going to give them a surprise, and they're going to jump back, and they're going to raise the freaking ghost of Al Davis, and they're going to play smash mouth football, and they're going to kick the shite out of the Chiefs. And I'm not, and it may not be by score, but it will be by rough play.
Sack.
Yeah, it'll be like rough play, man. I don't want to. I want to say what I want to say, but I don't know if I should say it because sometimes when I get off on it,
they were trying to get Alden Smith cleared to play for this game.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
That is not totally out of the realm. It's kind of you don't hear it on ESPN right now, but I'm telling you, he's ready to go.
Well, let me tell you the game. Jerry Jones is a master at this game, but every football team Someone's Panda says, I remember when they said Carolina was going to beat Seattle. Well, I'm taking it that you're a Raider fan, and if you are, God bless you. So there are some people that were talking to me that are Colts fans. Because we talked about going to the very last game, because we're trying to get some people together.
The last game is the Denver game.
And do some, here.
Game, okay.
Here.
Gotcha.
So, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go all rocked out in our Colts gear.
Breaking Green will go.
And so we got Breaking Green that's going to go. Sean's going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to ask you guys out here that's watching, anyone listening, hey man, give me a text, 916-420-0697. Let's just blast Oakland, man. And so, all right, so my prediction, as everyone asked, and I'm going with the Raiders. And I'm going with, Rodney said 36-17. I think and I hope that the Raiders will learn from all their mistakes that they have done this year and don't suck it up in the second quarter. They need to go strong every freaking minute of that game. So I'm going to go Raiders, and I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go 31, and I'm going to go Chiefs 21. So I'm going to give the Raiders a 10-point cushion there.
I'll say, I've been bouncing around this number, but I'm thinking 30-19.
All right, so we got Breaking Green to my right. What do you say, brother?
Say Raiders, baby. It's about to be a wrap.
What score?
Probably going to be somewhere around 27 to 19.
Okay. All right. So we're
all in the same area.
Yeah, we got the consensus right around 17 to 20 points, whatever. So, all right, here's the funny thing going on. So we got about 9 minutes before we go to commercial. So, and again, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, you are listening to Sports Insider with Glenn Spillman and Shawn Allen on the Armed Radio Global. And you could download the TuneIn app. You can search for Armed Radio Global, and you can catch our show every Wednesday and Friday, 6 o'clock Pacific time. And again, if you have any questions, you can email me at sportsinsideronline@gmail.com. Or if you want to call, give me a call, 916-420-0697. Odell Beckham's in the news, and after the game the other day, he was hot. He was mad. He was upset. He was pissed. He was cranky. Whatever freaking euphemism that you want to use for that, adjective and all that kind of stuff, he said, and I quote, he made some comments and whatnot, and okay, there are a lot of people, when they say something, they come back and they'll say something stupid like, I'd like to apologize to my team and my teammates and the fans and blah, blah, blah.
It's pre-written for them. It's pre-planned.
Yeah, screw that. Odell Beckham didn't do that. He was more like, and I quote, no use talking about the officials anymore. Even Stevie Wonder can see what's happening on the field. So that's one part of the quote. So let's talk about that for a second. So, Shawn.
He's going through gloom.
Okay, no. Let's really seriously talk about this. No. There's a lot of freaking penalties that happen. There's holding. There's all kinds of. There's low hits, leading with the helmet, all that kind of stuff that aren't called. And when you are a receiver, you've got the safety and everybody else trying to, and they're grabbing and whatnot. And I could see his point of view. What do you think? And I'm not talking just about. Let's just talk about not just everybody else. Let's talk about Odell Beckham here.
Well, I mean,
hey, we got welcome. Geez, man, we got all these freaking questions going on.
What was that?
Good Lord, King Cake 217. $30 king cake. What is a king cake, man? King cake. Holy crap, $35. What the crap, man? Hey, everybody. Hey, what's going on? So, Odell Beckham, what's up with that?
With Odell Beckham specifically, I've seen some calls. They haven't been consistent. I mean, let alone Odell Beckham, they haven't been consistent anywhere.
No, not with anybody or any team.
Well, especially with the pass interference and the helmet-to-helmet. All of a sudden, it's been a nightmare. You've got guys guarding Odell Beckham and any other receiver like this, looking at the receiver, not playing the ball, and they're not calling it. It's blatant. And I thought that I was to understand that rule is if you don't turn around to play the ball,
right,
it's an automatic pass interference. They've been calling offensive pass interference on Odell Beckham when it's clearly on defense.
Right.
Holding.
It appears we've got a lot of people watching us on Periscope for the first time. And I guess we got people from New Orleans, a ton of them watching.
He says Odell Beckham loves king
because
kicks.
they got some. They're talking about that king kick.
We're going to see what that is.
So here's what happened. He went to an official and he was just asking for an explanation. And here's what the official said, and I quote, "Get out of my face." That's what he said to Beckham. So yeah, I mean.
He's frustrated, but he's also frustrated because he hasn't been consistent on his end as well. I know there's penalties, and he's crying about penalties, and he has a right to. He has a right to complain about, but you gotta be focused on finding a way to get the ball and just focus on that. The other stuff you can't really control because these refs are going to do what they're going to do, and that's what they go back this year and do an overall.
Hey, welcome to the show, Channing Tatum.
They do an overall analysis
of
this year's how the refs did. It's not going to be a very good grade.
Right? No. Well, the NFL, they're talking about bringing in some more refs and more eyes in the sky. But I'm going to tell you what, man.
These old guys are.
I understand you get frustrated as a player. I've said a lot of stuff. But I used to be pretty freaking vulgar in some of the stuff that I said. If you could imagine that.
You got to rise above it, though, and focus on what.
But I'll tell you what. Here's what I did, too. I got mad, but I played harder, and then I shoved it in their face, and period.
And let's clarify that. Playing harder does not mean what happened between Odell Beckham and Josh Norman, that type of harder.
No, I meant.
We're talking about play harder, focus on making yourself available and open and create more creative ways.
So what I did is I tuned everything out and I focused on what I needed to focus on. I didn't listen to the refs. I didn't listen to anybody, and I was just straight focused. And but yeah, I mean, he said a comment. I think it's funny, and I still think it's funny. And I don't think he should apologize. I think he should.
I hope he doesn't apologize because that's a whole load of crap like that.
Yeah.
He has no apologies in that one, none at all.
So, in the media, there's a lot of people that ask certain questions, and some media personnel can be a little abrasive when they are speaking to sports figures, and they can say some things that can get under their skin and agitate them. Sometimes they do it on purpose because they want to get a clip or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the Bills QB, Tyrod Taylor, he was in a press conference, and he threw down his practice jersey, and he's I'm done talking. He was asked a question, how should he be judged if the Bills miss the playoffs? That was the question that was asked to him. A reporter said, how do you think you should be judged if the Bills miss the playoffs? He got mad, and he goes, I should be judged on wins and losses. But I think you should be judged on how you played. Because you can play well and still lose.
Well, right. I mean, what wins and losses are one component to the judging process of a quarterback, since he is the orchestrator of the team, the one who runs the offense.
Right.
So, but also personal performance, as far as completions, all that stuff.
Right. So yeah, I think that you should. I'll tell you what. Like I have seen some really good games, and I have seen some high numbers. And if you looked at a piece of paper, I'm like, man, these stats are great. I'm like, well, they lost, and you're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, way. And sounds like Wayne's World. And but no, you should be judged by how you play. And basically, since you threw down your practice jersey, I'll give you a new one, and it will say, I suck on the back, because that's what's going on.
Stats are for losers, it says.
So,
Well,
stats are for losers. Jelly into the show. That's what someone commented. Stats are for losers. If you make a comment like that, why don't you give me a reason why you think like that? Stats are used for many things. I guarantee you, these players will say, well, I don't look at stats, blah, blah, blah. I know of several players that have stats in their locker, and they go, okay, this guy did this last year, so I need to do this per game, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
No, they're going in there. And, okay, you say stats lie. Okay, these are comments that, no, I don't believe stats lie. How do you do that? It's math. If someone runs for 100 yards, how does that lie? Are you talking about their play of game or what? Explain yourself.
Yeah, stats lie. I thought stats are the ones explaining the story behind what's really going on. As far as how well.
Now, if you think that stats don't pay attention to them, okay, I can understand that. But no, stats don't lie.
Wake up!
I'm sorry to say that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to commercial. We will be back in Armed Radio Global, and we will be back in 4 minutes.
I sank into Eden with you, alone in the church by and by. I'll read to you here, save your eyes.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Hey everyone, as you all know, summer is now here and everyone wants sexy summer skin. I'm partnered with Rodan & Fields, the #2 premium skincare company in the US. We have some fun treats for you guys. Check out my website at www.ewinters.myrandf.com. But wait, there's more. Join as a preferred customer to get 10% off and free shipping for all these amazing products that I'm currently obsessing over. Or email me for a free mini facial or free consultation at ewintersrf@gmail.com to get your sexy summer glow.
Hey everyone, I want to tell you all about an amazing salon. Joyce's, located at 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Massachusetts. Joyce's specializes in the latest techniques in coloring, styling, cutting, and beach waves. Joyce's features Sukesha all-natural nutrient products and organic color. Joyce's full-service spa and salon, located at 132 Ferry Street, Everett, Massachusetts. 617-387-6688. Specializing in you.
And now, another fresh insight from Roger Berkowitz, President and CEO of Legal Seafoods.
If your wife can't take the time to test your tuna for purity, then why should you take the time to come to a complete stop before letting her out of the car? Just saying.
Legal Seafoods. If it isn't fresh, it isn't legal.
Hi, my name is Amrita Rapnarayan, aka Valanistama. Amrita means ambrosia or nectar of the gods. Valanistama means seeker of divine knowledge. Join me every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern for a night talk with Joe Rocks, exclusively on TuneIn Satellite on Armed Radio Global Network, where we will discuss food, culinary arts, baking, cooking, food preparation and presentation, bringing you a little bit of the divine knowledge so you can create your own nectar of the gods.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Armed Radio Global. My name is Glenn Spillman. To my left is Shawn Allen, and you are listening to Sports Insider. We had people, we're talking about the Browns and RG3 going on, and we had a comment, let RG3 decide. Well, let me just tell you something. I've got a 15-year-old daughter, and there are some people, and sometimes football players are kind of like kids. They will want to do something that isn't really good for their well-being,
right?
And then they do something, and then they screw it up, and then people are like, "Why'd you let him decide?"
Do you think it's him, or do you think it's him pushing it, or do you think it's the coach, or do you think it's the other?
Again, any player, I don't care what sport it is, any player is going to want to go into the game. So I think it's a little bit of both.
A little mixture. He wants to. They see his
Remember that song? Who sings that? Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. I don't know who sings that, but yeah. So anyway, should the Browns do it? You know what? Screw it. I mean, I don't freaking care. Do it.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, like I said, it could be career suicide, but who knows? They can win a game. Who are they playing anyway?
Who cares? So I asked you this a couple days ago. Someone says, "What's your favorite thing to vandalize when your team loses?"
Well, in Oakland, his car is flipping upside down, catching on fire.
Yeah, sometimes
in Oakland, it's just the fans of the other team, but we ain't got to worry about that this year. The parking lot are safer because we're winning in the stadium.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. There are people. There are people in L.A. Even when you win, they riot. So that's just freaking stupid. All right, so the Chargers. They're, of course, they've been talking about going to L.A. and they're in talks with the L.A. Coliseum about playing there next year.
Right.
So, of course, you've got all these teams that play there, and of course that takes up the turf and it beats it up really bad. January 1993. Welcome to the show. So, do you think the Chargers should move away from Qualcomm, out of San Diego, travel the hour and 10 minutes to LA?
It's so hard to move out of San Diego. I mean, why don't they just
Have you ever been to Qualcomm Stadium?
No.
Qualcomm Stadium, someone said the fans of the Chargers don't even go to the queue. The Bolts should leave. All right, I could dig you on that one. Qualcomm Stadium, I've been there many times. It's been there for like 150 years.
Is it worse than Candlestick was?
Dude, it is old. It is old.
Well, why don't they build a new stadium? 2 years ago they could have done that.
They could have, but okay, now you got why would you want the LA Chargers, then the LA Rams?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think that if the Chargers leave...
Are they still building the arena, the place in Carson?
The Chargers should leave, go somewhere else.
No, they were saying they're building an arena for either the Rams and the Chargers to share, or the Raiders and the Chargers. But
there's a lot of. Okay, so this person says TV money. Okay, yeah, it's all about money. It's all about
which market you're in.
Yeah, the green.
That taxpayers don't want.
I think let me ask you this, and this is a legitimate question. What do you think? You think that Sacramento could support an NFL team?
I think they could, not the Chargers.
Okay.
I don't think we want. If we wanted a team up here, same team we wanted back when Al was trying to move out the Raiders from LA. Back, and remember all that stuff was in the mix. Sacramento was in the mix. Oakland was in the mix. San Antonio was in the mix. Vegas was kind of in the mix back then. But I said, if the Raiders, if they want to leave, if they were to leave Oakland, come here.
Well,
I think it would be more acceptable than going out of state to Vegas.
Well, anyway, so all right, a little bit of talk about the Cowboys. There have been talks, especially in a lot of the media realm and rumors flying about that some of the starters might be rested, like Dak and Elliott and all that. Now, Jerry Jones has vehemently said, no, it's not going to happen. And he won't do it, and he hopes that they will keep in stride as they...
even suggest that?
There's a lot of people that suggest it.
Well, 4 games ago.
Yeah, it's stupid. Jerry Jones is on a winning...
game.
Nah, forget about it. I wouldn't even do that. So that's our football talk. So we're gonna go. We're gonna talk a little NCAA. We only got a couple things to talk about in that one. The NCAA president Mark Emmert wants a 8-team playoff, and he says he wants all champions from Power 5 conferences to be represented. So Joey Cueto over here comments, yes. Are you commenting that there should be an 8-team playoff in the NCAA? So here's the quote from the NCAA president, and I quote, "I'm kind of old school about that, I guess." He said, "It would be really fun to have a model where those 5 champions all got a crack at moving forward. I don't know what that looks like." All right, so
like it. Yeah.
Someone said so. WMU would be into it. So let me just first ask you, Shawn, and ask everybody that is watching and listening. Let me ask you this: do you think that there should be an 8-team playoff next year?
I think so. Me and you've had conversations about this, that we think eventually it should be up to a 16-team playoff. They give it to that way you can include. There's a lot of teams this year that have been considered contenders being based upon the rankings.
Right.
I mean, I think legitimately 16 would be great. Maybe a 10 to 12 team, 10 to 12 teams would be good. But 8's a move in the right direction.
Okay,
it's a move in the right direction.
All right. Well, we got a lot of listeners here and people viewing. So if you just tuned in, you are listening to Sports Insider. My name is Glenn Spillman. Shawn Allen, you are listening to us on the Armed Radio Global. So hello, everyone in Boston.
Yeah.
So here's what the 8-team playoff would look like right now if it should happen. And I'm going to tell you what it is. So you would have number 1, Alabama versus number 8, Wisconsin. That'll be an interesting game. And now you got number 2, Clemson, that would play number 7, Oklahoma. I think, obviously, because Oklahoma here.
That would be a good game.
I think Oklahoma would take that quite easily because I really don't think that Clemson is who they were last year, and I don't think their strength of schedule. Now, the reason why, and a person commented over here on Periscope, the reason why that they want an 8-team playoff is because of upsets. So,
I don't think. So based as it sits right now.
Well, no, let me finish the last 2 games. Go ahead. So then you would have number 3 Ohio State versus number 6 Michigan. Then you would have number 4 Washington versus number 5 Penn State.
You think Oklahoma would beat Clemson, but based upon right now, people are saying that Ohio State right now may play Clemson. Is that correct? Ohio State plays Clemson at this point?
And
people were saying that that's not a lock. Clemson could win that game. But you're saying Clemson would lose to Oklahoma?
I am saying 100% yes that Clemson would lose to
It would be a high-scoring shootout, but I don't think Oklahoma has legs for that. Against that team.
Oh, yeah. I do.
If it was Oklahoma and Wisconsin playing,
Oklahoma's got a much better running game. Baker Mayfield is the bomb. So here you got Alabama, Clemson, and then you got Alabama, Washington, and then you got Ohio State, Clemson. So if you really think about it, it could be another Clemson Alabama game. So you're saying who are you picking out of Ohio State and Clemson?
I'm going with Clemson.
You're going Clemson.
And I'm going with Alabama against Washington. That's not even that may be a blowout.
All right, and we've talked a lot about betting on here and parlays and whatnot.
What's the point line?
If you're going to bet on something, take the freaking Alabama over Washington game and put what you got on there. I'm taking Ohio State. There's no freaking way that Clemson is going to beat Ohio State. Not going to freaking happen.
Okay, Ohio State lost to Penn State, didn't they?
Ohio. Let me tell you something.
I'm saying they lost to Penn State. My point is, Ohio State lost to Penn State in a very close game. Penn State wouldn't hold a candlestick to Clemson right now. If those two teams played, Clemson would level them.
Really think so?
Oh, I really think so. So I'm just saying this is a toss-up game. This is like a game that I wouldn't even bet on, just for the fact that it's just whatever the point line. Whoever's favored, I don't know. I mean, if like Ohio State was favored by like 17 or something like that, I would take Clemson.
Really?
Because I don't think Ohio State will cover.
Okay,
even if they did win,
you can still take. I mean, you can take. So you're talking about
what's the point line right now in the game?
I don't know. I'm trying to look that up as we're speaking.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I think maybe. All right, I'll tell you what. I don't know if they should try it for a year and see what happens.
Yeah.
And see what's up with that.
I mean, based upon how it looks right now, this year your team would be in there, but right now the way it sits, your team's not.
Right.
So I'm just saying, based upon their efforts, if this was next year, your team would be in. And your team's good for being in the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they are.
And they're number 7, if I'm correct. I don't know the current standings, but they kept saying they're number 8, and they're really number 7. They were all last week.
Right. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I
know you talk about going to Tahoe all the time. Isn't there anywhere we can bet on?
Well, you could bet
the game from down here without having to go to Tahoe.
No, you could bet online, but no, there's nowhere around here in California that you can go and bet.
I mean, online. Can we bet online?
Oh yeah, you could bet on. It says someone says, doesn't Clemson have a 2-game winning streak on Oklahoma? There's a question mark on that. So there is, to me, the past is the past is the past is the past. So we're not even going to. So I found it. Ohio State is favored by 3.5 points over Clemson. Now Alabama is favored by 16 over Washington. I'm telling you, Alabama is favored by 16, but they're going to win by at least twice that. I guarantee you that one. So, and just briefly, a little bit of MLB action. You've got an interesting thing that I thought was quite interesting, and the GM of the Baltimore Orioles, Dan Duquette, says he does not want free agent Jose Bautista because fans don't like him. Are you freaking kidding me? When I saw this story, I thought it was a freaking joke. But you've got the GM saying, no, we're not going to get one of the hottest hitters in baseball because our fans don't like him.
If it wins games, that's all that matters.
You know what I would tell the fans if I was the GM? I would tell them to freaking suck it.
I was like, sit down and shut up.
Yeah, they can have. They can have. I'll pull a Ben Stiller from the movie. What the heck is that I'm doing over there? I pull a Ben Stiller from the Happy Gilmore when he told that old lady she can have a glass of shut the hell up. And that's what the GM for the Orioles tell the fans, because here's what happened. Bautista got into a lot of altercations and arguments with Orioles pitcher Darren O'Day and outfielder Adam Jones. Well, let me just tell you something. Anybody that knows anything about sports knows that they don't get together before the game and have tea and crumpets. They don't get together and build a little bonfire during before the game and sing freaking Kumbaya. So I'm going to tell you something. There's jaw-jacking.
Yeah.
There's people arguing. There's pushing and shoving. There's all kinds of stuff. But if I had a chance to get Jose Bautista, I promise you, the Orioles, you would need that. I would laugh if the freaking, I think that is not a smart move. The fans will like them all of a sudden when they freaking start winning.
Right.
And then they'll forget all about what happened between, what happened last year. So anyway, that's enough on that one. So the new labor deal and the MLB, a lot of people are not happy with that. So agent Scott Boras says a new deal could turn them away from baseball and have them play soccer. Well, some people have said, I don't freaking care. If you want to go and play soccer and you want to take your ball and go home and act like a little pissy baby,
bye.
Then peace out. But here's the crux. Here is the catalyst, or whatever you want to call it, that's pissing certain people off. Now, the deal limits bonuses for players who reside outside of the United States, Puerto Rico, or Canada. So, it restricts teams to signing pools that start at $4.7 million.
Why are they doing this?
So they're saying it limits bonuses because basically, why are you? This is what some people are saying. They're saying that why spend the money on foreign players when we got all the player pool here to spend the money on?
Right.
So if the Latin players don't want to come because of that and they want to be babies and leave, because what that tells me is they don't want to come and play baseball, they just want to come and get the money. So but let me defend that real quick. I don't care who you are and where you're from. I don't care if you live in Ireland, I don't care if you live in Iceland, I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
If you are a good player and you can help my team win, I'm going to pay you.
Right.
I don't care where you're from. So I don't, and I'm one of these people that do not agree with this new labor deal that was signed. I don't agree with that at all. I think that they should play, someone said this is by far the best scope out there. Thank you very much. I think that you should get paid.
Yeah.
So, as promised, yesterday we had a fan on Periscope say, hey, talk about Conor McGregor. Hey, let's do this and that. And they were all up about Conor McGregor. So, I will talk a little bit about Conor McGregor. And so let's just, instead of just throwing things at you, let's kind of go all the way back to 1988. 1988. Conor McGregor crawls out of a cave on July 14th, 1988, and he was born in Crumlin, Dublin, Ireland. Say that 10 times.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, he developed a passion for playing football, and everything, football is freaking soccer because it's playing with your foot. Yeah, football. So, he played for the Lords Celtic Football Club. And so at an early age, he, about 12 years old, he took up kickboxing. So, for whatever reason, he did that, and then he started, getting into it more and more and more, obviously. So, 10 years ago, 2006, he moved to Lucan, where he was an apprentice as a plumber. So can you guys imagine the Conor McGregor of today and his fancy cars and his $5,000 suits and his $20,000 watch and all that kind of stuff? Could you imagine Conor McGregor being a plumber?
No.
Well, that's what he freaking did for a while. And then he met Tom Egan at that time. He's obviously a UFC fighter, so he's a future UFC. So they started training MMA together. So that's how they passed the time. And then, about a year later, February 17th, 2007, he had his MMA debut, and he won by TKO in the first round.
That's the first day his head swelled up like this.
Swell up a little bit, but see, you get confidence. When you knock somebody or TKO somebody in the first round, yeah, you build your confidence. And I'm sure everybody around him would say, hey, brother, this is what you need to do.
Everybody's had an opinion.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's had an opinion on that.
So he took that. And he made his first pro debut just a year after that. And he fought Gary Morris, where he beat him in the second round.
Head got a little bit bigger.
Head got a little bit bigger, yeah. So, you go to February. A lot of things happened with Conor McGregor in February. In February 2013, Dana White gets on a plane and he flies to Dublin. And he's going there to receive a gold medal of honorary patronage from, whatever that means, from Trinity College. So there was a lot of people there that were talking about Conor McGregor. They were telling Dana White, you got to meet this kid, you got to meet this kid, and you got to sign him, you got to sign him. So he met with McGregor, and just a few days later, he offered Conor McGregor a contract. And so
his head got a little bit bigger.
A lot of times people say the rest is history. Well, I'm not going to say that. So April 6th, 2013, McGregor made his UFC debut against Marcus Brimage. He was on the preliminary card of UFC Fuel TV. He had a first-round TKO. It was just a little bit over a minute, and he won the KO award of the evening.
Oh, God, his head got just a little.
So, yeah. Yeah, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. So, now I'm sure you've watched the show, The Ultimate Fighter. Mr. Breaking Green, have you watched The Ultimate Fighter?
I have watched that.
Yes, you have. So, McGregor was a coach, and he coached against Uriah Faber. Well, as you guys know, Uriah Faber is from Sacramento, and he has a gym here. Right. And Mendez is out of there and whatnot, and McGregor beat Mendez. But there's a lot of freaking drama on that show between those two.
Right.
So, last year, Shawn, you and I were at the Blarney Stone, and we were watching UFC 194. And we were sitting in front of that big TV, and everyone was getting amped. And Joey Cueto says, Pete's Pizza in Sacramento. So, McGregor beats Aldo in 13 seconds. I remember that. I went up to go to the bathroom. I came back, and it was over. And I was like, what the crap? And then, remember, you and I still talk about it to this day. It didn't even barely look like he freaking touched him.
And we both looked at each other, and that was the day where his head finally...
Oh, dear
it was over.
God.
And that was the day he started doing it. And actually, it was the next big fight he had. He came in the ring like this. Up and around. You know why he does that? Because he has to keep his head down.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we just got a couple more minutes. So, I'm going to run through these next ones. So, he talked smack about Diaz. When he fought Diaz, he's got his arse kicked. Okay, so he's known...
He has shocked the world.
He's known as the Notorious Mystic Mac. That sounds like something that they sell at freaking McDonald's during Halloween. So he's fought featherweight, lightweight, welterweight. So his reach, 74 inches. He's got 5 trainers right now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, striking, Taekwondo, movement, wrestling. So he's got a 24 fights with 21-3 record, 18 knockouts, 1 submission, 2 decisions. But here's the funny thing. He talks a lot of shite. And he will freaking get in your face. But every time he lost by submission.
Yes.
And a lot of people in the MMA world, whether they'll say it to your face or not, or in public or whatever, they say if you tap out, you're a little bitch.
And with 12 days preparation, Nate Diaz was the most embarrassing of those 3 because no one gave Nate Diaz a chance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on Armed Global Radio, that is our show. You were listening to the Sports Insider with Glenn Spillman and Shawn Allen. So tune in Friday on Armed Global Radio at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Thank you. Peace out.